This episode is brought to you by the Old Dominion Athletic Foundation. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Become a member today.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome, Monarch fans, to the Hudson Homers podcast, coming to you after a 4-0 week, a sweep of Georgia
go.
Southern. Amazing week for the boys. Got CB
Play
here, got
baseball.
Coach Finny here. Yeah, CB, how's it going?
Man, let me tell you, I think I was telling you on Saturday, I was like, man, it's so much better feeling to win a series than to lose a series. It's a great
Been a little
feeling.
while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So what a week. I mean, it was just a lot of good baseball being played this week. That was cool.
Well, and when we, got down, got behind, whatever it was, we were able to play from ahead a lot, which is nice. But
Yeah.
when we were down, they responded and won a couple close games. 3 out of those 4 games are pretty close. So nice to be able to win some of those, and that usually means that guys, coming out of the bullpen did a good job, and you got a couple timely hits, and we did both of those this week. Just couldn't be prouder of the pitching over the weekend in particular.
Yeah.
I thought was, that was by far our best weekend pitching of the year as a staff.
For sure.
Gusky gave us a good start on Friday. Gaddy gave us a good start on Saturday, and we, and Laney gave us a good start on Sunday. I mean, we only needed what we got from them to get us into the game, and you're thinking both teams are gonna, give up some runs on Sunday after the first 2 games. That's been the history anyway, and we those guys did the job, man. And it was a day that you needed to pitch because it wasn't a great day to hit. You couldn't walk a bunch of guys and give a bunch of free bases, and we did a good job with that. So and swung the bats just enough, a little better than the week before, I think. But it's just, and sometimes the other team's pitcher has something to say about it. But we got to get better with the timely hits because Friday, for example, man, I kept coming in the dugout going, we're just wasting too many chances. I mean, this game we should have 10 runs right now, I think. And
I know Sunday in the 8th inning, I know you had to be pretty furious about that one. Bases loaded, no outs, and nothing.
Yeah. And if I had to do that over, in hindsight, I try to never do this, but we had some righties available. I probably should have hit for Jack there. Of course, if he gets a hit, I'm not sitting here saying this, I know, or hit stack fly, which he's been good at this year.
Yeah.
And then we tried to squeeze, and that didn't work, and then it was just didn't work out. But we had put all our lefties in the game at that point, whether it was because of defense or pinch hitting earlier in the game, and they're just so happened they had a lefty come in, and we did a good job getting the bases loaded, but then you just got to, I thought Jack swung at 2 breaking balls that were clearly balls, and then he took one right down the middle for strike 3. So that was unfortunate, but other than that, on yesterday, we put together some good at bats when we needed to, and took advantage of them making some mistakes. I mean, the bottom line to the Saturday win, where we walk it off was, they made 2 big errors and gave us a couple runs. So that's not our fault. You got to play clean baseball, and that was the difference in the game. We played really good defense, turned a couple double plays. I thought Will Johnson had another good weekend defensively, shortstop, and so that was the difference in that ball game for sure. And the Friday game, I mean, Will, has 5 RBIs. It's a grand slam that turned a 4-1 game into an 8-1 game.
Yeah.
And that game, we kind of, after that it was kind of over. So So the disappointing part of that game, and I think it hurt us on Saturday, was having to bring Davis into that game up 8-1, and I just Maddox, Ben Tanton did a good job, and we still treat him a little bit with kid gloves because coming off the arm injury and all of that. So he had 3 up downs. He threw 2 in the third, and Maddox came in and struggled. I mean, he got out of the bases loaded jam his first inning, but then went out and walked a couple guys, and I was just like, you can't in college athletics in general, and certainly in college baseball. You guys have seen it, man. When that ball starts rolling down that hill,
it's avalanche.
It's into a boulder in a hurry, and then it becomes hard to stop. And I just didn't want to get to that point, which is why we brought Davis in, and he did a good job. You'd love to not have to throw him, but I've also seen people wait, and then all of a sudden it's double, and it's a 1-run game.
Well, it's like you told us last week. You said the plan is we're going to do everything we can do to win on Friday and win on Saturday, and then let Sunday sort itself out. And you saw that in how you were managing, particularly on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and I thought Kuski did a really good job. That was his 3rd good start in a row, and Gaddy's 4th good start in a row.
Yeah,
those guys are they're getting better, and but you're still building them up because they just you were getting 1 inning and that kind of stuff, and so it's not like they've been used to throwing 7. We'd love them to get more, and maybe they will. We'll see. But I guess the one good note, they since they both struggled early in the season, they don't have a ton of miles.
No, they're fresh.
50 innings,
on the tread, right now. So the tires are pretty fresh, and maybe that'll help us down the stretch.
One thing that I know Gary and I were talking about watching this weekend, for Georgia Southern, and I don't mean this in a complimentary way, but watching them seemed a lot like watching ODU for large chunks of the season. It felt very similar. A lot of like shooting yourself in the foot, making errors, walking guys, not necessarily playing with energy, not necessarily having competitive at bats. I mean, it was a little eerie. I mean, and it makes sense coming into the series where you have 2 5 and 10 teams. It kind of made sense that it was a similar kind of style of play. So it was nice to see us not do that and be the team we all know we can be.
I would completely agree. And that's just and we won all 3 games, and that's great, but we still have to be a lot better.
Absolutely.
Especially our guys in the middle of the lineup, like cashing runs in and having better at bats. I mean, it's time for. I told Zadalis before the weekend. I said, man, it's warming up. The wind starts to turn around. It's time for you to start trying to drive balls. He's very conscientious of having a good stroke and all this. And I said, that's great, but let's turn that thing loose a few times this weekend, especially advantage counts. And to his credit, they made, got his hands back a little bit. And he did drive the ball. So I thought that was really good. We need that.
That first home run he hit on Saturday landed on top of the Jim Jarrett building.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, that was a bomb. And, the one yesterday, when he hit it, it had the makings, I thought, of maybe hooking foul. And because the wind was blowing so hard to right field, I think the wind kept that fair, and it went off the fair pole right there. So
I love a fair pole dong. Like, it's just dong. It's such a great sound.
Best, right? Best sound
so
ever
cool.
when you're on offense.
Worst
sound ever when you're on defense.
Yes. Absolutely.
When he hit it, I was like, come on. And then it was straightening out. And then I was like, hit the pole. And then Mav, he hit a moonshot, man. And so the update on him, he had to come out of the game. Maverick Stallings had to come out of the game yesterday. Craziest thing, he's putting his elbow guard on, and the Velcro on it broke, and it hit him in the eye.
Oh, man.
In the eye.
That meant because Hana wouldn't tell me what happened. I just heard
Yeah.
that he got scratched his eye. It sounds like it must have
Yeah.
been something silly.
He couldn't see, and it was just a freaky
Yeah.
thing. I mean, who expects that to happen, But so we had to take. He tried to hit one more time and struck out. It's probably because he couldn't see.
Can't see. No, he was not having a good time. He was sitting there with it covered, and he looked unhappy and in pain. Yeah, he wrapped up like a mummy.
He went to the eye doctor today. Everything checked out. He's going to be fine. He's just got some discomfort from the the trauma of it hitting. So I don't know if he'll play tomorrow, but he should be fine by the weekend at the worst. So.
Good.
All right,
that was Cole, Cole came in and made an error, and then he made a couple nice plays and got a hit.
Yeah.
So that was good to see, him be able to do that for us.
Yeah, made a nice double play.
Yeah. He did a good job right there and got a 2-strike single to, start a rally. We didn't end up scoring on, but
Saturday, it kind of got lost in the shuffle of the excitement of the walk-off, but the double play there in the top of the 10th, first batter of the inning gets on base, then you roll up. I mean, just a sick glove flip ball, turning two. I mean, I think that kind of just put out Georgia Southern's fire. It felt like at that point.
Yeah. We had a couple big double plays this weekend, man. That was good to see. Just one making a pitch to get it and two executing it for sure. So.
It's fun that our dugout realized that if we have a double play that goes Maverick number 6 to Will number 7, that it's a 6-7. So that's a good.
Did not get that. Of course they would know that. Right?
Of course they would. Yes. It only took them like half a season to figure it out, but that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, update on schedule. The Richmond game in a couple weeks is being moved from Wednesday to Tuesday here.
Okay.
Exams is probably my fault. I'm sure it's my fault. That was a schedule, an added game since both of us had a rain out, and I, for some reason, thought we could play Wednesday, but we actually start exams Wednesday. So we need to play that Tuesday, which they're fine with. So that game will be Tuesday evening at 6. What's the date?
May
5th. May 5th.
Yeah.
So revenge of the 5th after May the 4th.
Yeah. People updating their schedule on that. We'll get it updated on our website and all that, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Excellent.
And, we'll get back to talking about the baseball and some things that I think are pretty cool. You get to this part of the season, and sometimes some freshmen have started to, come along. And I think Nick Felton is certainly in that boat. He's a premium defender from the get-go. The bat's certainly been a work in progress, but I think, over the last couple of weeks, he's had much more consistent at bats, making harder contact even on his outs, staying in the middle of the field, not rolling over and chopping balls and hitting a bunch of pop-ups the other way. His contact and swing has gotten better. He's really working hard at that part. He's, bunting the ball well. And I mean, gosh, they don't score that first run. He runs that ball down in the gap on Friday when caught it, and then the ground knocked it out of his glove. And then I told him, I said, the thing about diving for balls, you got to make sure that when you catch it, you keep your hands out like you're like a head first slide, because what guys do is they let their body and their elbows hit, and then it jars the ball loose. And so yesterday, he made a dive play kind of coming in and over, and he came in the dugout and said, I did it that time. Yeah, you did.
It's great.
I mean, he is fun to watch play defense, man, because he catches most all. If he can't catch it, then I don't know who can. So he catches a lot of them.
Yeah, he goes and gets them.
He really does.
Do you think that
look easy?
Do you think that the bunting has helped the hitting? I mean, you have to imagine that staying in there and kind of getting your face down in it and seeing the pitches has had to have had an effect. It helps you be like, okay, kind of slowed the game down. You're making contact. You're doing some running, playing some baseball instead of like just going up and striking out and walking back to the plate.
I think so. And I've had some freshmen, that for whatever reason they had to play or they needed to play, and we're playing that just were really good defenders, and weren't just quite there with the bat, and we needed production from them offensively. So the way to get it is to bunt the ball, move guys up. And we've bunted Nick before with one out just to move a guy into scoring position and hope the next guy can get him in. I'm never afraid to do that if we don't like the matchup. I mean, it's better for, F to hit with a guy on second than a guy on first and 2 outs.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the way it's going, then just move the guy up. And but I do think it does help. CB, I think it keeps your head still. You see the pitches. Don't usually bunt at balls like you might swing at balls.
Yeah.
Usually take those, and it seems to have helped him. And I remember I had a kid, and he was one of my favorite players when I was at Western Kentucky. And our first year was a big recruiting class, and the second year we played all these young guys. And Matt Payton was his name. He was a football, baseball kid from Louisville Male High School, and played second base. He was a left-handed hitter, could really run, fantastic defensive player. The swing was just, like a broken lawn chair as a freshman. It was all over. Kind of like Nick's was. And I made him bunt all the time, and his dad would get so mad. It's killing me. And I finally one day I said, "Hey, Matt, can you tell your dad to just stop, man? Like, you're playing every day. Would you rather be sitting on the bench or would you rather be playing and bunting?" He goes, "I'd rather be playing and bunting." So that kid ended up being an all-conference player and got drafted by the Phillies and played a few years, and now he's a fire chief in Louisville. So that's a neat story. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that you have to do sometimes. It makes you realize guys like Andy Garriola, Kenny Lavari, Carter Trice,
Nick Walker.
It gives you an appreciation. Nick Walker, Vinny Pasquantino, Kyle Battle, how good those guys were as freshmen. Because you didn't have to do that with them. They could just play. Bryce Wyndham was a little bit like that as a freshman. He didn't play a lot, but we bunted him a lot, and he was a good defender. But he became a good hitter. So, but yeah, it gives you an appreciation for how talented those kids were, even as true freshmen, for sure.
Yeah. Well, one change to the lineup you made this weekend, putting F in that leadoff spot. I thought that paid off really well. I mean, he had, I know he went 0 for 4 on Sunday, but man, he was scrappy. He got a couple hits in the other games. I feel like he just sets the tone for that lineup of like, you're going to have a problem with us tonight.
Yeah. And F's done about, we talked about that. I mean, Hay just had many conversations with him, man. Like, you can't hit leadoff if you try to hit everything. Like, I know you think you can, but you have to be more patient hitting leadoff, especially the first at bat. And so we'll talk about it, leading off the game. I'll tell them, hey, the first one's yours, but make sure it's in one spot, or you got to take the first one just to see it. And TJ's going through a little bit of a lull since conference play started. He struggled a little bit. We had him in today, and we're showing him some things just on his spray chart and where his hard contacts are. And he got off to such a good start this year, and I said, man, everybody goes through little dips like this. I mean, Mac's going through it right now. You just got to keep going. Keep going, keep working, keep trying. It'll come back around, and maybe
I always think for TJ is just be an athlete. I think he is the most successful. You just go up, play, stop thinking too much. Don't do the thing all hitters do where you think too much and you screw yourself up. Just go up, be athletic, see ball, hit ball, and I think he'll be fine. Have fun. I tell him about 15 times a game. Have fun. You having fun? Like, I just keep asking. That's how he's going to be successful.
No doubt. Something we did notice with TJ, even though he's a guy that hits the ball the other way, his heat maps, his hot zones in the strike zone of the balls he hits hard are not away from him. Because he bails a little bit. They're on the inner half of the plate. And so we said, probably for you then, you need to get on the plate more. And that's something, we're going to we worked on today and we'll work on tomorrow, I think, showing him that. So, yeah, hopefully he'll get it back figured out. Same thing with Mac. I think some of the other guys are starting to look pretty good. Late had a few more. Late should have had a home run Saturday. I thought that he whacked that ball and the wind knocked it down. He had a double yesterday. He's just got to get more balls in the air, especially on the pull side. So hopefully, as it warms up, Georgia State's a great example. Like, it's a hitter's park. It's a small park, and you got to hit some home runs to win there. And we have the last few times we've gone down there, we won the series, and usually because of homers. So, 2 years ago, Stallings was the Sun Belt Player of the Week that week.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of homers.
I remember that. He was dynamite.
Yeah. He was hitting to the track every at bat, I felt like.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some of that going on. And it's an interesting place to play because it's, an old junior college field, not much atmosphere, which we're kind of used to. It's a long ways away from anything. So you just got to go down there and play, and you're playing a team you're tied with. So, and then the following week, Arkansas State's a game up on us right now. You're going to be around them. So you got to just keep winning these series and getting ahead of people, especially with the tiebreakers as they start to come into play.
Yeah, 2 games out of third place. Like, that tells you how bunched up it is. Which is, again, that's why this weekend was so huge. Come out and do what you just take. Like, I think we talked about last week, just take it one pitch at a time and just win the pitch in front of you. And it seems like that's what everybody focused on this week. And just keep doing that. Don't think about the bigger stuff. Just get back to just playing good baseball. Get them on, get them over, get them in, throw your pitches, like play some good defense. Like, this is a really fun weekend to watch, and not just because we won the games. I think the winning the games is kind of incidental to the way they played.
Yeah, we played a better brand of baseball for sure. And we got East Carolina coming in tomorrow, and they just lost a couple to Wichita State, so they've had some stuff with they really beat us up bad down there. A month or so ago, we did not play well, and they did, and so. It's going to be, guys that haven't pitched a ton. We will have some guys that need to throw an inning, that have been in our up quote unquote bullpen. So, but Okonkwo is going to start. He was not good over the weekend, but we'll get him back out there and hopefully we can get some stuff worked out kind of one time through the order type deal. But, his whole thing is he's got to figure out a consistent off-speed pitch. Like, he should have a changeup by now. Disappointing that he doesn't, because he's more of a pronator than a supernator. Supernator guys are your cutters and your sliders, and usually can figure a breaking ball out pretty easy. Jackson's a big time pronator. Like, he's got so much life on that fastball because of that, but it makes it a little more difficult to get your hand on this side of the ball. But those guys should have good changeups. And he hasn't done it yet, and he needs to. And it's something like it's been the difference for Nick Solpizio. He started throwing the changeup more and breaking guys down with it. And he broke up some pretty good hitters in their lineup with that changeup. So instead of forcing the breaking ball, which has been inconsistent for him, he just started throwing fastball changeup, and it made a big difference, man. I still say it's the best pitch in baseball. Because you throw it with the same intent and arm speed as your fastball, and then it can really mess up hitters' timing because of that. So,
and he throws his fastball so hard. If he gets that changeup pitch, he's deadly. And I think the times he's been most effective this year is when he's been able to mix those speeds up a little bit. Like we watched JJ do it on Saturday. He threw that slow curve a couple times. First pitch, he threw it for a strikeout pitch. He had those batters dancing in that box.
Yeah. JJ's been pitching, he's not a super hard thrower, but his off-speed pitches really have been protecting his fastball, so to speak. And then he mixes that in. That's like his changeup. The fastball just goes up instead of down. But the other off-speed pitches kind of, it can muddle the rest of it up for the hitter. So, and if you can upset hitters' timing, that's what pitching's about. Hitting's about being on time, and pitching's about upsetting the timing. And the better, you are at that, then the more successful you got a chance to be as a pitcher.
was giving JJ a hard time because he had that ball that guy smoked off his backside.
Yeah.
And everyone in the ballpark, I mean, we give him a hard time about having the loudest voice possible. I think people at like down in downtown probably heard that very loud expletive that he said as he was picking the ball up, and because then he told me he came back in the dugout and he was like, "Yeah, I just thought," and they're all like, "Yeah, we know, we heard it."
Yeah. Payne instructs, right? Like, so I was like, maybe he won't hang that breaking ball anymore. Got hit 100 miles an hour off his butt.
But man, he gets drilled with that. I guess it was in the butt or the hip or something. It was not in a fun spot.
Like not a great spot. Yeah.
But he comes back and strikes out the next two guys.
Hit in the butt. That's better than a lot of other places you can get hit.
Yeah.
Sure. And the coolest part is we still got an out of it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like Will hit the ball the other day. Was that against Richmond? And it hit the guy it was like against Richmond. Hit the guy in the elbow and went right to the first baseman.
That was crazy. I was like, what? No. I was so upset.
You knocked the kid out of the game, but it went right to the first baseman, third out. I thought Will, again, that's 2 weeks in a row. He's played, much better defense, and it feels like he's getting his legs kind of second wind a little bit offensively. Starting to drive some balls, had the double in the home run on Friday, and had some big hits on Wednesday, and got a hit in the other two games. But I thought he looked better in the box, and that's the main reason we bumped him back up in the top of the lineup. Especially against the lefty, is get him maybe another at bat.
He looks much more comfortable out on the field too. I think when he had some of those errors, he was pressing, and now he's much more relaxed. I mean, he got to a ball that was, normally it's where Tyler normally plays. He was up and in front of the bag. He didn't throw the guy out at first, but just the fact that he ranged that far to his right to get that, and like it saved the run. Yeah, because that saved the run.
I almost thought maybe that he should have tried to get the guy at third on that. So it was first and second. And Tyler went to the bag because he was kind of playing over that way. And we talked about that. I was like, it might be your best shot. You might not have anybody, but you're never going to get that guy having to make a 140-foot throw. And it was you weren't going to get the guy at second on that either. You might have a shot at third, or not throw it, because sometimes you see that ball get thrown and they throw it away and the run does score.
Weird stuff happens when you throw a third. Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave us a couple runs. Like they just gave us a run on yesterday. It's 2 outs and chopper to short. And we usually just keep the guys going on routine plays because why not?
Yeah.
If it's not a routine play, sometimes you got to be careful because the guy may not have a play and he'll hold it and you wheel the guy and then you look like an idiot. But when they're making routine plays, we've got a sign for just keep going. And Spar did a good job. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he was running hard and, got through it up the line, and then he beat the throw to the plate. So we scored a run on that, and we scored a run on that sac fly. That was a close play to the plate that Will beat. And he beat that because he made a great slide. He slid and extended his front foot. So many college players today slide and their front foot is up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're out. And if his front, and we got guys, and we practice sliding at a ball. We got those old slide right things, and you see it all the time. They lean too far back, and Will got his foot into the plate and just barely beat, a good throw. And
I was shocked that they said he was safe because for my angle, I was behind him and like taking the picture. All I could kind of see was his back, and I'm like, how in the world was he safe? The guy had the ball and beat him by a mile. And so that's what he said. Good baseball.
Really good slide. And those are, the wind killed that ball too. That should have been an easy sac fly. And the guy ended up having to catch it like a basket catch.
Yeah, it was weird.
Knocked it down. And I thought because he had to catch it like that, he might have trouble making a good throw, but he didn't. But it's still like, you know what? With the wind blowing in and doing all that, it's just like take your chance.
You got to make a good throw.
If it's 50,
you got to make a good catch, a good throw, another good catch, and a good tag. Like the amount of things you have to go right.
And this is what people don't realize. A lot of times, when you're coaching third, you're making all these decisions beforehand based on who's coming up after that guy, how he's doing, and all these things. And I think about it this way, like sending guys with 2 outs, on base hits. It's like, even if the worst, it's 40% chance he's going to score or 35. Well, the next guy coming up probably ain't hitting 400. So you still got a better chance of sending and getting another hit.
Right.
In a lot of cases. Now, if you're down by 5, then that's dumb. You don't want to do that. But if the run matters, then those are the kind of playing the percentages is, probably a smart thing to do. So.
Yeah, and that was Trammell, I think, in left. And, I mean, he put a great throw on it. I mean, he wasn't far from where I was standing. I told him a good throw afterwards.
Yeah.
But, man, I knew there had to be an incredible slide down there at home plate to get around that.
Yeah.
They had some good ball players. I really love the was it McCoy? Was that his name?
Second base.
I'm sorry. The first base center field. The real huge switch hitter. Second batter. Third batter. Yeah. I'm a big fan. That kid can play some baseball.
Yeah. He should not move that fast at that height. It's like Scotty 2.0 there.
Him and Trammell, I think, were grad students, I believe. I think both of those guys were grad students. They've been there a little while. They had some good young players. Number 5, Chrisman, true freshman. Guy's built like a fullback. He hit the home run on Friday, but he's a big, strong kid. Their catcher that caught 2 of the 3 games was a freshman. Freshman shortstop. He struggled this weekend, but looks like a pretty good ball player. So they had some young kids in the lineup too, and especially on the mound. It was similar to us. Like, they've got some guys that they probably don't want to be pitching as much as they're having to at this point. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you had a lot of veteran guys step up this week, whether it's Slater. I know he entered the game, I think, as a pinch runner, was in the game, and then his first at bat, he hits the walk-off single there. And then Tyler Stott. I mean, what a stud to come through in probably the biggest week of the season for us and get 2 wins.
Yeah, that was cool.
First 2 of his career too.
Yeah. And I said this about Stott. I mean, there's been plenty of days where it just isn't good enough, but it's not because he's ever afraid of the moment. Like, he approaches pitching like a guy that's played football his whole life. He ain't scared out there. He has taken the time to just stick with it and try to reinvent himself. He knows he's not a guy that throws super hard, so he's trying to figure out a shtick, and I kind of like Kellen Davis. I love guys like that. Like, they just haven't just defaulted, I don't throw hard enough, so I'm not going to be any good. They've tried to, go back to the lab and, cook up another concoction and see if this one will work, And to see, him yesterday on a day where we were thin and needed it, and it was really fun to watch. I mean, him and Nick Solpizio both last week, like, they really picked us up, both those kids.
Yeah.
So proud of them. And Nick's been the same, man. He's been a guy that's, does at times throw hard, but gets hit. And I think he decided this week, I'm going to try to pitch a little bit. And he did. He 7 innings and, 2 runs. I mean, that's pretty darn good in college baseball.
Yeah, that is hard to do. But yeah, it was. I was joking with Aaron Zielinski standing down on the wall when Cole was coming out of the game in the 3rd, and I said, "Well, I mean, if we can get through 3 innings, we've given up 1 run, and we've gone through Cole and Tyler, we're in good shape." And then I see Tyler come back out, and he comes back out, and he just keeps mowing guys down. And I'm like, just keep it going, just until he's done, keep it rolling, and that worked well.
Mike sometimes will. Of course, you're not thinking, you have no idea what you're going to get. And Mike sometimes, he comes in, he gets us out of that one, and said, let's send him back out there, see what we got. And then after that next inning, I look over and Mike kind of goes, let's send him back out there. And then I said, all right, well, look, he's had some arm stuff, so let's see how it feels. And so I think he did. And then he didn't talk to him anymore after that. He was running on fumes that last inning. You could tell
he was,
but
he gutted it. He did,
and that was just awesome, man. So really,
I mean, to put that in perspective, so he had 4 2/3 innings this week. Yeah, 4 2/3 innings in 2 games this week. The whole season, he'd been in 6 games, only had 4 innings. But never mind that. He's a senior. He's in his 4th year. In his career, before this week, 19 appearances, 14.1 innings. He threw 4 2/3 in 2 games and got 2 wins this week. I mean, that's big time, man. That's a dude coming up. Like you said, that's not being afraid of the moment. That's a guy that just like has the mentality.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's why sports is great, right? It's just the
right.
way things happen, and when good things happen, it's usually because somebody unexpected or a couple guys unexpected decided to step up and help the ball club. And that's exactly what happened on the mound this week. You know, Nick had really struggled starting the last few Sundays, and we took him out of the starting thing. And he started against Richmond and threw the ball well. But and then he was ready. He wasn't down there moping around. He was ready when we called on him, and he gets the save on Sunday. So, you know, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Just a lot of great stuff, a lot of little things I think we've all been kind of waiting to kind of click into play. But really, I think you all played pretty well the last 3 weekends. I know the results didn't show it from like the Southern Miss series forward, but you've been playing much better baseball. And I feel like you just took like another big step forward. And I know I talked to you behind the batting cage on Saturday, and we were talking about, you know, position players pitching and all this stuff because PJ Higgins got an inning for the Reds and had a strikeout. And we were just talking about like, hey, I mean, you never know who's going to step up and do what. And then sure enough, all of this unfolds the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. And, you know, we got 4 weekends to go, and you got to, you know, we don't have a big margin for error now. So you just got to win the moment in front of you and not worry about the rest of it. Right. You know, get some work in tomorrow and try to win that game, and then head down to Atlanta and try to beat those guys. So, and then you get to come home and play again. I do think it's been nice. I feel like maybe we're getting our, you know, second wind a little bit physically, just having these home midweeks and not having to travel and get on a bus and all that. It's been a little easier on the guys. We went through that stretch where we were on the road a bunch, and you know, I think it has been a little easier on them. And you know, you got classes wrapping up here in a couple of weeks, and then exams, and it's just baseball. So that'll be nice.
I'm hoping Sunday was our last cold game because I did not pack for cold weather on Sunday. I was lucky I had like one Jacksonville Jags hoodie in the trunk of my car. So that's why I was wearing that for the second half of the game. I got in a pair of sweatpants from someone on the football team the day before, gave those to Aaron because he's wearing short sleeve shirt, shorts, a Patagonia vest with no sleeves on and a beanie. And I'm like, here's some sweatpants. You're going to freeze to death over there.
I don't know how these grown men couldn't read a weather report. I mean, I'm out there with my layers on. I don't know what these guys are doing. It made me a little embarrassed to be associated with them, to be honest.
I think it's going to be chilly tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be chilly too.
I don't think it's going to be terrible, but it is going to be chilly. Yeah. And, you know, to your point, CB, on the standings, you know, you got JMU in last at 6-12.
Yeah.
Louisiana 7-11. Georgia State, Old Dominion 8-10. Marshall, Monroe, Ark State, and Texas State 9-9.
Yeah.
So game ahead of us. Then you got Troy, Appalachian, and South Alabama 10-8. 2 games ahead of us. Then you got Southern Miss 11-7, 3 games ahead of us, and then Coastal's 15-3. So
Coastal's running away. It was really going to be bunched if Southern Miss had lost yesterday afternoon. I mean, because that would have made a bunch of 10-8 teams, and I mean that would have been crazy.
They would have been 10-8. Southern Miss swept Texas State, right?
Yeah, they did. They did.
So there were 3 sweeps. It was us, Appalachian swept JMU, and then Southern Miss swept. Yeah, I think that was it.
Because
I looked this up. And this is the first time we've had a 4-game winning streak since the second weekend against Niagara and then beat Norfolk State in the midweek right after. But it's also the first time we've won 2 in a row since the middle of March. I mean, it's been a lot of that's it. So just that really illustrates like it was a tough stretch. Things were not. I mean, I know you were living
that. You know what else is interesting in that? Like I looked up there and JMU's lost 7 or 8 in a row. Mm-hmm. Like we haven't had any of that. Like
I think we've never lost more than 2 in a row.
That's kind of an interesting thing because it hadn't been an extended losing streak. We just haven't won enough.
Well, it was the inconsistency. I mean, it's what we've been kind of talking about all year is just that, and that's what you come out one game, you look amazing, and come out another game, you look terrible. And so, it wasn't like
that really shows up too. And we have been pitching better lately. So hopefully we can keep that up. Yep. And, so the Pirates tomorrow, people come on out at 6 o'clock and,
I saw our guy Boucher has been pitching for them.
Yeah,
I was surprised. I didn't realize that. He's thrown like 9 innings and give up
They've
like
had
7
some
runs.
pitching injuries, so I knew on that board.
I thought that was interesting.
I think they were playing Tulane.
He's still playing in the infield too.
Yeah, I think they were playing Tulane a couple of weeks ago, and I caught the end of one of the games, and they had an inning just start to get away from him, and they brought him in from the field to pitch. I think he threw 1 pitch into the inning, and then he was back in the field. So I guess they dropped the DH. But
well, I mean, they love that. Yeah.
Oh,
they got a few local kids. They got Austin Irby from Cox and Braden Bachman from Hickory. So I'm sure there'll be some local folks to come and watch them and hopefully see their sons. But other than that, watch them lose.
There you go. Well, you got TJ and Nick coming on, I know, and just so proud of both those guys. They're fantastic young men. They're a lot of fun to be around every day, and they're just good people. So we're really proud of both of them, and it's fun to watch. It's been fun to watch TJ grow up and become a leader and a mentor to Nick. Those two are usually around each other most of the time, and that's been kind of cool. And just good young men.
Yeah, we're excited to have them on.
Good. All right, and I'm sure they'll give you some good stories. So.
we're gonna try to for sure.
All right. Well, thank you guys as always, and we got to get the Grateful Dead Sideways Sasquatch hats and T-shirts and stuff. I love that logo.
Oh, you're gonna make Mike's day. You're gonna make his day. For sure.
Yeah. Well, before I go, I'm gonna flash it up there one more time just because I can, and. So there we are.
Yeah, that was wrong way. There you go. There you go. Yeah, a little Grateful Dead Monarch.
We got to come up with a nickname for that guy right there. Like
Jerry.
Yeah, he looks like he needs a nickname. But I can see that on some apparel.
We'll have him. We'll have him out there behind center field. So when we hit a home run, he runs across the right field or something like that. It'll be good to go.
It's not bad. That would be great. I don't know how much room there is in that front row. Maybe there isn't room, but you got some kid that could run across and hold something. That'd be neat.
Or we'll get him put on a flag and fly with our W flag after.
There you go. There we go.
All right, guys. Thank you as always.
All right, thank you,
Phil.
Finny.
We appreciate you, man.
Monarch.
Thank you.
Go Monarchs.
The Old Dominion Athletic Foundation, or commonly referred to as the ODAF, was established in 1964 as a nonprofit organization. The mission of the ODAF is to raise financial support for ODU athletics to ensure that our coaches and student athletes have the resources necessary to compete for championships. The ODAF is integral to the success of ODU athletics and is the channel through which our fans and alumni can partner with our coaches and student athletes for the advancement of the athletics program. Through the generous efforts of our donors, loyal fan base, and community, the ODU alumni from around the globe, the ODAF raises money for student athletic scholarship support and endowments, capital projects, program-specific support, and athletic department operations. Funds are raised through annual giving, multi-year pledges, events, premium seating, and planned giving. With questions about how to get involved in one or more of these initiatives, reach out to an ODAF representative. Gifts to the ODAF are investments in the lives of our student athletes. ODAF members receive exclusive benefits such as priority points for postseason and away game seating, parking, VIP, and hospitality experiences, and more. Because of you, we create winners in the classroom, in athletic competition, and in life. Contact the ODAF and become a member today.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Blaine. Yeah. And appreciate Finny hopping on. Obviously, he looked pretty excited after a 4-0 week, but knows there's still some work to do there. It's amazing what just winning 3 games in a row can do, especially as tight as the Sun Belt standings are right now.
Yeah. And that's what the team needed. I mean, we knew, and again, we're going to say the players themselves, the coaches, everybody just focus on the pitch in front of you. But for us just talking, that's what had to happen this weekend. They really needed to win the series and sweep if all possible. And I mean, you saw, like I said, we saw a team that is not playing that well. And ODU was able to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what had to happen. And now they're right back in it, right back in the conversation. And, you and I can start looking at getting the hotel room down in Montgomery, and I can figure out my seat on the bus, and we'll make it great.
Yeah, so you're taking the smart route there if you hop on the bus and go down with them. I think I'm going to have to do the flight to Atlanta and get a rental car, because I think it was a miracle that I got out of there last time. I got the last seat on a plane that my tiny self could touch both sides of the plane while standing in the aisle. I'm going to try to avoid that this time.
Yikes.
But we got a couple player guests today. 2 guys made some big impacts this week. TJ Aiken and Nick Felton. Fellas, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
What's up, y'all?
I do notice Nick put his name first, so he made sure he got first billing.
My computer, my room.
Fair. That is fair. Well, big weekend, a big week really for you all. Nick, you get the walk-off. We get a 4-0 week. TJ doing some awesome stuff out there other than throwing baseballs at me over there on the sideline. But how are you all feeling after the weekend?
Feeling great. I mean, good off day today. It was great to get a sweep. We really needed it, but it's great to see the morale back up and starting to get hot here. So it's good baseball we're playing. So it's actually fun.
Yeah, I agree. Playing great ball right now, and the morale is really, really high. So we're going really good.
That's good. Nick, have you had a walk-off before? Is this
never? I was actually talking about that with my family. I've never walked it off myself, and I've been a part of a couple walk-offs, but never have I been the final guy. So that was amazing. Probably something I remember forever.
That's a pretty cool moment then. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I was able to get some pictures of it. I know that because that's a cool moment. They do you guys did the thing both Tuesday and at that game where y'all just chased the guy off into the end. Yeah. I'm amazed they caught you. I didn't even realize. I was looking at the pictures later. They got you on the ground at one point.
Yeah, I think I went up there to chest bump Cole, and then I think TJ got a clip of me, and I just hit the ground, and then of course I come back up, and I think I got every ounce of that water in that Gatorade cooler. So
that's perfect. Did you? I think you kept your jersey though. I think Jack, they got him immediately. They stripped him almost instantly.
Yeah, I kept it for a little bit. And everyone's like, "You gotta take it off. You gotta take it off," and then it came off eventually. So that was all fun.
Yeah, you hammered that baseball too. I mean, it one hop to the wall. I could see you at one point trying to go and touch second, hopefully before Scotty was there. Were you thinking about that? I want this to be a double in the scorebook.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I mean, when I hit it, I looked up and I was like, "Oh, that's game over." And then I'm starting around the bag, and I realized how far it was. I was like, "Oh," and then I get second base, and Slater's right there for me. I was like, "Oh, well,
yeah,
no touching second base here."
Yeah, I was gonna say, so somehow that would have worked out. You were past Slater. I forget what the rule is. One of y'all is out on that one, but clearly it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was shocked when I had the camera and I panned over and I saw the ball drop and I turned back. Scotty still has a foot on third base. I'm like, go, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well,
so TJ, it was funny. We were talking back at the banquet about you've been around a while. I mean, you've been around so long. You're Unc now.
Yeah, I am Unc now.
You are. We got. That's been Nick's nickname pretty much from day one, right? His nephew.
Yep. Day one. Since day one.
Somehow it brewed.
Yeah.
And it stuck.
It's a wild transition.
Facts. It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, time is flying by there. You all said that morale is it kind of at an all-time high? Have you just kind of been feeling that build over the last couple of weeks, and this is just kind of the showing up in the results a little bit more of you all coming together?
Yeah, I would say in the past couple of weeks, I think it really started against Southern Miss. Even though we dropped that last game 6-7, I feel like still that showed us a lot of what we can do if we,
there it is. There it is.
Second time that's happened on this episode.
That is funny. But yeah, no. But that weekend really, I feel like that weekend brought us together closer and just going forward, just rolling with each other, and just fighting for each other, and it paid off this weekend.
Yeah, I think with
you
that,
can see it out there. You guys felt you guys could tell you were feeling yourselves after winning the game against Southern Miss. It's the proof of concept, right? It's the show that like, hey, if we play the way we can play, this is what we can do.
Yeah. I think it built a lot of confidence, like seeing we could beat a team like Southern Miss and like pretty convincingly and almost taking the series, like he was saying. I mean, we realize we can do it if we just play how we should be playing from the jump. And I think that's been really good, especially these past couple of weeks, like bringing it together and just having fun playing again, trying to do our best out there. And it's been working out so far. So it's fun to see what we're capable of.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And Saturday, I got to see some batting practice before the game. I was standing behind the cage, harassing both of you and probably some other people as well. But just kind of take me through like how your swing and how your approach has adjusted throughout this year. Because I know, Nick, you've done a ton of different things. TJ, you've gone through the up and downs. You've gone through a lot of things too. But kind of take us through that like process of how you all continue to develop as hitters.
Well, I feel like this season, I mean, I was going really good in the first half, and like the past 3 weekends, I've been getting pitched a little differently. Everything's pushed on the outer half rather than just spraying it across the zone, and I'm just hitting it where they're missing. And but now everybody's just trying to dot the outer half, like from the 5 to 7 range. And I feel like my adjustment to that was just to get on the plate and still try my best to stay inside the baseball, but just get on the plate. So just to take that away from them and take away those changeups that are down.
Yeah. And for me, I'd say, I mean, from the start, I got off to a kind of a slow start. I think I was getting a little jumpy at the plate, kind of just excited to being out there and everything. And then I realized the game's a lot different from high school. I mean, better pitching, everyone's a dude, just got to adjust. And like we've been working with Finny and all the hitting guys, and we just feel like I work best the other way, and just trying to focus the other way keeps everything else in check. So, and then also realizing like the mental side that like I'm here for a reason, and that I could also play just like all these other guys can. So there's no reason to like doubt myself or anything. So just more trusting yourself and getting comfortable and getting in there.
Now, to be fair, in high school, you did play at a pretty good school. Like played at St. John's. I mean, you guys were what, like top 25 in the country last year at one point? Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think we got up to number 4. We only lost 1 game last year to number 1 ranked IMG. Right. So you're pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. And you were a 3rd-team All-American. So I mean, so it is funny to think about like the high level you were playing at in high school to say, oh, that's still another level like that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I realized in the fall, like there was a little wake up call, and then I started easing, and then the spring hit around. It was like another gear, like spring and fall. I felt just like competitiveness of going out there almost every day. But I think I'm getting used to it now, getting a lot more comfortable, and just seeing how I can adjust every day to like be the best version of myself.
And now you go from high school where you were coached by Kevin Gibbs, who, ODU Hall of Famer, still has, I think he still has records for like triple stolen base. One of our all-time best players.
I hear about it all the time.
And well, it could, because you're currently being coached by his son Casey also. So you can't escape the Gibbs family, apparently.
Nope, I can't. I cannot. The brother, older brother, younger brother.
Yeah, that's right.
I
guess you played with Casey, right? Or I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, Casey was the year before me. I played with Casey's younger brother, Colin. He's a sophomore in Maryland now. And then I also played with Casey's cousin, the youngest, Matthew. So, I mean, Gibbs all over the family. And then Kevin Gibbs' dad was my 3rd base coach. So, I mean, just Gibbs all over the place.
You were just at the family reunion every game.
Yeah, literally. I know the whole family at this point.
That's crazy. Well, speaking of family, your brother is a pretty good ball player, right? Matthew?
Yeah, he's getting there. Big, lengthy guy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is. He looks like you did a few years ago, frankly.
Oh, yeah. If he puts it
now,
together.
Are we making sure he's got plenty of ODU gear? Like every time he's cold, he's got an ODU sweatshirt to wear? Yep. Okay, I'm just making sure. Like I would, like we're doing this with Bailey's brother too. Like same thing. Like if you make sure the little bro is always got. He's never wanting for some gear. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, anything I grew out of, he's got, and he's starting to outgrow me. So it might be a bigger size than me sooner or later.
There we go.
Well, you both have kind of rotated through some different spots in the outfield this year. All right, TJ, are you more comfortable in left? Nick, you're more comfortable in center? Because I can never tell, and you both play well in both positions.
You want to start off?
I mean, to me, I love center field. Center field, you see everything. But actually, I played less center field than left field. Like high school, I played a bunch of left field because we had 2 other good outfielders in my class, and then years before that, we had a bunch of great outfielders. So I've been in left field a lot, a little bit of center field. But I mean, me personally, I love center field. Just running around, feel like you have free reign, like you're like a little kid again, just running around.
You're flying out there, that is for sure. You had a couple of pretty incredible catches over the weekend.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I can piggyback off that. I do like the same thing. Like it's so free playing in center field. It's just so much grass to cover, and you just like a free man running. But I feel like I'm pretty good at both. Like I don't mind playing either or. But if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick center, just because it's an easier position to play. I think it's way easier than left, honestly, just because the way the ball moves. And but no, I'd definitely say center because it's just a true read, honestly.
Center field is great. Like as big and slow as I am, there were a few teams I was on where I was the best outfielder, so I would play center field. And yeah, man, it's so much better. It really is. I don't know why. It's just something great about it.
Well, I was in the corner outfield as well. I imagine that the wind, especially on Sunday, was not super fun to deal with. It looked like it's blowing in 2 different directions at the same time.
Yeah, almost like it was just circling. Before the game started, the flag got wrapped around the pole. Like you can see the flag wrapped around the pole. So I was like, dang, he's just spinning a circle out here.
Yeah. It's a constant battle. I mean, I feel like every time I look around, it's changing directions. I'm like, oh, it's blowing out, it's blowing in, blowing left, right. So we're always told to check it. But I feel like even when it's hit, it's just swirling sometimes up there. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you need to let it go.
You check it before the pitch changes already. So, Nick, and correct me if I'm wrong, is your mom was from Belgium? Is that right? Or was
Croatia? Right across.
Croatia. Okay, Croatia. I was wrong. Yeah. All right, so Croatia, and you, so you're part Croatia, and you spent a bunch of summers there as a kid, right?
Oh yeah, probably we tried like when I was little every other summer to go down, but we went this past summer, and that was amazing to go over there. It's another world, whole another world.
Yeah. And are you fluent in? I guess I don't even know. Do they speak? Is it Croatian? I'm not even positive.
Yeah, Croatian. I wish I was fluent. Like I'm at the point where like I can tell what they're saying, but it's so hard to reciprocate sometimes. But like
same with Spanish. I get it.
Yeah.
That's
my
right.
Yeah, a lot better with their English, so I can actually like communicate with them and like. But before, when I was younger, it was a struggle. But I love going over.
Do you like corrupt them with like terrible American stuff? Like, do you bring like nonsense like 6, 7?
But you'd be surprised. Like, there's some terrible stuff over there too. Like
they got it. Yeah,
they got it too. Sometimes they're corrupting me, which is funny.
Well, they probably take. I mean, you probably at y'all's age, you probably go out to the club when y'all were like 15 or something, right? Over in Croatia.
They start early over there. That's what
That's wild.
Well, I don't want to talk too much pitching with you all, but I got to talk about Tyler Stott a little bit. I mean, it felt like the dugout was so pumped up to see him come in and just delete guys at the plate. Were you feeling that of kind of just getting a little extra adrenaline rush knowing Stott's out there carving dudes up?
Oh yeah, for a fact. I mean, because like I'm not like that was the best I ever seen a pitch in my life, and it just turned. You can just tell it turned everybody up, and I was stoked to play behind him that day. Sunday, that was awesome. Like it literally gave me chills just watching them pitch out there. So that was pretty cool.
It's like a movie script almost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's had a couple arm issues too, so it was good seeing him out there, and he was actually like. He was really competitive, and it was just really fun to play behind. Like when a guy's competitive and you can see he's giving it his all, and the whole dugout's into it, like it's just so much easier to play behind him.
I literally forgot he was going through his arm issues too. Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I pointed out a little bit earlier. That's more innings this week than he had all season.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, and TJ, you've been with him the last few years. Like he's only had about 14 innings his whole career.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why that's what made it awesome. That's what really made it awesome.
Yeah. And he's just such a good guy. It's just one of the dudes. Like he's always there. He's always rooting for everybody, bringing that energy. Yeah, it is fun to watch guys succeed.
Yeah, and then Tyler obviously had a big weekend, pelting a couple home runs out of there. Like, is he sharing his forearm workout that the broadcasters down at South Alabama were talking about so much?
It's like his own secret method, and I don't think anybody will touch that recipe.
He keep doing it though.
Yeah, he needs. Yeah, whatever.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got those old school like hand strengthening like claws. They almost look like vice grips, and he's just sitting there all day in class just squeezing that thing,
walking around squeezing it.
Well, he's a Southern guy like you, TJ. He might have some like wild like go out and catch a raccoon or something.
Well, you can't consider Charlotte the South.
See, that's wild. That's crazy.
Charlotte's out of the South now. What?
Can't consider Charlotte. I lived in Charlotte. I know it's the South. Stop
it's
this.
Like Atlanta.
Slander.
Atlanta and Charlotte is like their own little worlds, and everywhere else is.
But he lived in Concord. He didn't even live in Charlotte. He lived in Concord. Is kind
it's still like a more like a city. If that makes sense. I mean, but yeah.
Can't all be from Greenwood.
And this weekend, y'all are heading down to Georgia State, going to Atlanta. TJ, I know it's your second.
It's not
trip
the South,
down.
Apparently.
Yeah, we're leaving the South.
Atlanta is the furthest thing from the South.
Yeah, Atlanta's pretty wild. I'll give you that.
I'm pretty sure they call it the dirty South. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, Atlanta is just a different place.
Yeah, but I know you played down there 2 years ago, and Nick, I know it'd be your first time, but we were talking with Finny about how it really is like a hitter's and like a home run ballpark. So TJ, are you just waiting for that pitch to be outside and you just step into that thing and drive it the other way?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Because I think last year they came at the War Memorial, right? I think that's where we played them at last year.
Yeah, War Memorial. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they have that little guy Freeman that had like 12 hits against us. We couldn't get out.
You weren't little. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could bang it though. Yeah, Freeman could bang it. Where's he at now? Did he get drafted?
I thought he got drafted, but we'll find out before we get out of here. But,
he had all the gear to get drafted, that's for sure.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, TJ, I think the biggest thing for you, man, is just keep, number one, I always tell you, you having fun. Have fun.
Yes, sir.
Biggest thing. But also just make sure you're staying athletic. Just be an athlete, man. Stop trying to think too much.
Yes,
you hitters get in trouble when y'all think too much.
Yeah.
So just be an athlete, see the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I've been trying to just get away from my head and just make the adjustment that I need to make and just go forward.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right,
what's y'all's favorite part of Norfolk? Since we know Norfolk's not the South at all. We know no one from South Carolina would ever call it. For Nick, it probably is the South. I'm sure.
I wouldn't call it the South. Virginia's a weird state. I'll tell you that.
Would y'all consider Virginia the South? That's a great question.
That's a good question.
If you ask somebody from New York if Virginia is the South, they are 100%. Anybody from like pretty much above DC is going to call it the South. That's the thing. But then, like when I moved down to Charlotte, they were like, "No, you're from the North." I'm like, "I'm from Southern Virginia."
I mean, Virginia's it's like the border. I don't even know how to, I couldn't even tell you if it's the South or the North.
It's a weird one.
It's all over
the place too, because like Nova is not. Nova is the North.
Nowhere near the South.
Yeah.
Because I live in. I was gonna say I live in Richmond. In 15 minutes, I can be in downtown Richmond. In another 15 minutes, I can be not within sight of another human being for miles.
Yeah.
Oh,
but so for the guys who are not from here, what's your favorite thing about Norfolk? And ODU?
I'd say Norfolk and ODU. I'd say the people. Like when I remember, like first going through the city and in the summer,
that Southern charm.
Oh yeah, Southern charm. There were like all the people were nice. Like I was so surprised. And then like the fall rolled around and like between the support staff, like Danielle and Amy and like everyone was just so nice and like so like helpful. Like they actually cared. And it was just like, I wouldn't say it was a culture shock, but like I'd definitely say that people are like outstanding here. And it just really like makes you feel at home no matter like how far away you are.
That's great. Love that.
I feel like one thing I like about the area is definitely the water, just fishing. But people are awesome. People are awesome. I love the fish. There's so many bodies of water you can go to. There's ponds, got the ocean, so you can go between sea and fresh water. So,
what's your favorite thing to catch?
Bass. I'm freshwater over saltwater. Saltwater is just not my. I mean, I try a lot actually, but I just can never get the gist with saltwater.
All right, so we got to get you.
I've been fishing freshwater for my whole life until I got here. So
yeah, I was gonna say Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not the fishing guy. I'm the guy that's like run around the water. Like I can't like sit around too much. I love the water. I'll like everyone be tanning on the beach. I'll be in the water the whole time. That's just me.
What do you get? Like a boogie board? What do you get? What do you get?
Oh yeah, boogie board. I mean, I was a kid. Like you're at the pool, mom's sitting on the chair. I got the rings in the water, like diving for the rings the entire time.
There you go.
Throwing the ball around. Yeah, that was me.
I was always like Spider-Man on the wall. That was always my thing. Like you push off the wall, like Spider-Man.
No, that's the OG movie.
Oh yeah.
God, I just still remember someone taking a roll of pennies, just trying to distract us in the pool and throwing all the pennies in and being like, all right, kids, don't drown, and just leave us there. That actually happened in Myrtle Beach. So I understand you there on the South Carolina piece.
Dirty Myrtle, man.
It's just gotten dirtier too.
Yeah.
Y'all going down there in a few weeks.
Oh yeah.
That'll be nice.
Sort of, like a half hour outside of it. But that's
Well, Conway's not that far from Myrtle, about 25, maybe 20.
Yeah. But that traffic ends up being an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, how much attention do you all pay to the other Sun Belt games are going on? Are y'all looking at standings or looking at other teams, players? Like, just wondering how you stay connected with the rest of the conference.
I mean, I was actually just me and Ben were just watching the Louisiana Troy game last night, like the ending of it. Saw Troy walk it off, but I mean, I say we pay attention a little bit, like especially like as we're getting back in the mix, getting more conference games, and like about to end out the year, like kind of just seeing where we stand, but. More of it just being like focusing on what we can do, but also like keep an eye on like, just like kind of want to see who wins this game, who wins that game, but more just like more of a self-centered approach, I'd say.
Yeah, and I can say basically the same thing. I don't really watch the games like that, but I do keep up with the standings. But I really just try to focus on us and focus on my guys and just roll with them.
Do you guys keep up with like former teammates, like guys you grew up with that are playing places?
Oh yeah.
Do you keep like watch their stats or all? You just kind of like talk to them and just trust whatever they tell you. Like they're like, yeah, I'm doing great. You're like, yeah, I saw you hitting the $110, but okay.
Yeah.
Probably both.
A little bit of both. Yeah.
Trust their word.
And then
maybe take a little peek at their stats. Be like,
it just depends on who they are, though. You gotta know who the person is.
Yeah.
Like this person just like, okay, this dude's probably lying, so let me go look myself.
Yeah, because Nick, I saw a bunch of your boys getting in the comments on your walk-off video talking about bunt stock down. I was cracking up.
Yeah, they were having a field day. Bunt stock down. Glad to know you can do more than bunt. They were having a field day.
They're getting out.
I love it. Like I love that. I love that they're like in tune and that we can always joke around like that because I feel like I'm close to a lot of those guys.
That's awesome, man. Great. With CB, what else you got?
Hey, I thoroughly enjoy getting to watch both of you guys play baseball. TJ, you're one of my favorite guys. Because knowing you for the last few years has been phenomenal. Nick, you're well on the way to joining that club. You guys just keep being yourselves, man. This is y'all are part of what makes like what Gary and I do, where we just want to be around ODU baseball and enjoy it because we just get to hang out. Like you said, it's the people, just getting to hang around good people, and so we appreciate. We're excited for the end of the season here. Excited to see y'all just keep building on what we've had built in the last few weeks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will.
I got something for you, CB. Those cookies. My gosh.
Yes, mom's cookies. Okay.
My gosh. I mean, I heard the hype in the fall. Like I heard all about it. Like, CB's mom's cookies, everything. They came the first time. I was like, wow, I can't. Like I was after the games. I was like putting a couple in my pocket, trying to go home. But I couldn't get enough. And then to come back the next day, there's a couple left, and like you don't want to be that guy to take the last one, but like
you do want to be that guy.
I think I did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
CCB, look at this. They'll leave the tubs on the table in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the tub home. Big box of cookies.
That's where all the cookies. That's where all the cookies.
All of us all the guys just eat them downstairs. Or we bring a tub back the next day.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
That's what That's what. Yeah, mom loves.
I've always loved the cookies. The cookies are awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, mom's you guys. She's bringing you like gummy bears now. You said you like gummy bears. So she's hooking it up. Mom is as big a supporter of ODU as anybody. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. So
I'm sure she'll watch this sometime tomorrow, and I appreciate her too. Let me tell you, I locked my keys out of my car the other day, and she came and helped me out. So I appreciate mom. My mom's the best. That's for sure.
Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I appreciate the time. I know y'all have a big one tomorrow against East Carolina. Then you're hitting the road down to Georgia State. We'll be watching, rooting you on, and just really appreciate the time you all coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Of course. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks,
you
guys. Appreciate y'all. Later. Good kids, man. Jeez. That's just what good kids. I mean, we know TJ is. I mean, it's like the fourth time we've had him on. Hudson homers in some form. I mean, yeah, I'd have one every week if it wouldn't get a little stale, because it probably wouldn't get stale, frankly, because he's just such a good. And then Nick is, and seeing, Nick has been a little quiet, but I mean, you see right there, I mean, that he's got all the personality, and now he's feeling a little more comfortable. He's getting to be himself. I think that's what happens a lot of times. Young guys, they once they realize, like, oh, I'm allowed to be me. You see him break out of their shell a little bit, and yeah, I mean, that's great. That just seeing what TJ is going to do the rest of this year, and then next year as a senior, and then see what Nick's going to do in his career. I mean, Nick is going to be a really phenomenal ball player. That's for sure.
He is. He's already showing signs of it. I mean, we know we had some veterans step up in a big way this week to get us to 4-0, and we've talked about a lot of them. But for Nick to step up in that situation, some guys just melt when the pressure's on, and think, all right, well, there's already a runner on third. All I got to do is put it in play. And some guys, like, they'll just swing through everything. He goes and just pieces one up opposite field into the gap. One hops to the fence, no doubt. And then the celebration's on, and then they carry that momentum right into Sunday. So a lot of very bright futures for some of these guys in this team when the veterans are, moving on after the season.
It's always amazing to me when you talk to a guy and they're like, "Yeah, I've never had a walk-off." It's like, man, you played all this baseball, but it doesn't. I think we didn't have one all last season, and we didn't have one this year up until this week, and then we had 2 this week. I mean, it was just a strange. It's not always a thing that happens. It's you got to be in a home game, and you got to be close, and it's not always an opportunity for it.
No, it doesn't always turn out well, but we get the big double play in the top of the 10th there. I thought that was huge in swinging some momentum, because that started out as one of those innings that can go off the rails quick when you let that leadoff guy get on. Erase him, quickly get out 3, and then just guys on, game over. And that's what we needed to do. And I was really impressed Sunday. I was kind of joking with Aaron. I said, I think if we get 3 or 4 on them in the first inning, Georgia Southern will quit. And I wouldn't say they quit. They didn't. They kept battling.
No, they didn't.
But they were in a hole, and we know how that is being on
the
other side.
They definitely had a little bit of like a
yeah, well, as the Dallas goes and smacks one out of there, the Mav goes back to back. That hurt him a little bit. And of course, we got one of our guys who's going to be named Player of the Week. I'm going to pop that in a second. Tyler Scott and Tyler's the Dallas. Tyler squared.
The Tylers, the Tylers. Stott. I mean, like I said, we talked about 4 2/3 innings, 2 games, 2 wins. Never had a win in his career. 2 wins. No earned runs, just 1 hit, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. I mean, that was phenomenal for a guy who, like I said, had been doing all this work, has not had some seasons where he didn't play like 1 appearance. The former 5th string football quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, you forget about that. I mean, he's a guy who's just been putting work in, and it's amazing to see. And it really was a close week, because Nick Sulpizio right there with him. 2 games, picked up the save on Sunday, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. I think realistically the 5 walks might have been what kind of pushed us to picking Tyler. But I mean, still he pitched phenomenally. And this was a great week for pitching. This is probably our best pitched week of the season. Because we had a bunch of guys. So JJ Gaddy, another 5 innings, scoreless. Took a ball off the butt. 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Jace Park had a nice week. Had 2 games, 3 1/3 innings, scoreless. 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ben Tanton got the win on was it Saturday. 2 1/3 scoreless. 2 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts. And Darren Kuski had another good start. 4 2/3. Gave up 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. So a lot of guys not walking guys, not giving up a ton of hits, just executing their pitches. I mean, that was really great to see. And then, I'm sorry, you want to talk about pitching? My bad.
I just want to say, I mean, I feel like we've just slowly gotten better with pitching each week. And each week we had really reduced the number of walks and hit by a pitch. And now we're reducing the hard contact that's going out there. I think that's what I was most impressed with. Even when guys were getting contact, it was nothing hard hit that was getting out of there. But Tanton coming in on Friday. I mean, that's a big spot for him to come in on Friday. We lost the lead at one point there. And just for that pitching staff to come back. So I've just been impressed. And Gaddy, man, you can't question his toughness now. That's 2 weekends in a row he's been hit with a comebacker, and the only thing he's mad about is he didn't catch it on the fly. Tough dude throwing really anchoring us on Saturdays. Been very important. If you notice, we've only won Saturdays the last couple of weeks.
Got that New York toughness, that New York tough. Hey, I'm pitching here. No, and Tanton, it's really been impressive. I mean, we know we made him pitcher of the week a few times. He probably had another couple times he could have. I mean, this week arguably he was in the conversation. But realizing that this is a freshman that is coming in big spots. We're bringing him in close games when we need innings. Like coming in with guys on base sometimes. I mean, he's been a dude, and it's really impressive to see. A lot of times as a freshman, that's just not what happens. So that's been really cool to see. Because he's clear, and that's another one you're talking about, like the future of ODU baseball. There's some really good young ball players on this team. And speaking of a guy who will be part of the future because he's a junior this year, Tyler Zadalis, another great week. He I think he was scuffling a little bit and he kind of got himself back. So he was 7 for 18, had 3 home runs, the 2 of them on Saturday, 6 RBIs and scored 6 runs. So just a great big power week for him. Will Johnson, as you pointed out, 7 for 16, had a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, 4 of them on that 1 grand slam. Also had 3 walks, 3 runs, and stole a base. Maverick, before scratching his own eye with his gear. I did not know that's happened. I knew it was silly when Hannah wouldn't tell me how it happened because she usually would tell you, but then when she's like, I was like, okay, something goofy happened.
You sent me the picture, and he looks like he just got back from battle. He had his head whole wrapped up and a patch on his eye.
Well, now that we know it hopefully wasn't that big of a deal, we'll probably share that picture eventually because it was pretty. Because I mean, at the time, he's just like he's in pain. He's got his eye scratched. Like this is one of your better hitters, and you just don't want anybody, I don't care who you are, to have your eye scratched. That sounds terrible. But hopefully it'll be okay. But Maverick was 6 for 16, had a double, had 2 homers, 6 RBIs, a couple of walks, 5 runs scored. It's another big week, and played great defense. I mean, he's really been our best defender this year, which is really been huge for us. And Efren had another nice week. Efren Morales was 6 for 17, had a walk, a hit by a pitch, 2 runs, and a stolen base. So again, not really, F hasn't really tapped into the extra base potential yet, but he's got that line drive swing. I don't think it's going to be a matter of time before he starts hitting some doubles. I gave Kate Kelly, the strength coach, a hard time yesterday. F hit one that went all the way to the wall, and I was like, that's on you. And he's like, he's 5'7". That's not my fault. I think he might have said 5'9". I might have said 5'7". That's my bad effort.
Whatever he is listed at. Yes. I mean, he's gotten so many balls hit hard to center field that have been caught for outs that if he just gets in the gap a little bit, they're doubles all day. And like you can figure that out. You can adjust your timing and do those things. Mm. But I think what I'm most impressed with Ephraim in that leadoff spot is he makes pitchers nervous, and it gets them off of their mindset a little bit because he is going to be just hell to get out at the plate. I think he only struck out once this weekend. And I mean, it
does not strike out much.
No, and he's just going to be a problem. And then you got the defense playing tight, the pitchers off their rhythm early, and we saw that kind of pay off as it went down through the lineup there as he was getting those hits to set the tone for us. I think that's what I tweeted out on Friday before the game of set the tone, F, and he did.
I think the phrase the guys have been using is drive the bus. I think that when he's getting hits, I think you'll see Scotty Young and a few guys kind of the drive the bus. So he's been that guy. I think, 9 strikeouts in 85 at bats this season. So that's pretty good.
That's
talking about this,
like,
not quite like 1 out of 10. I mean, that's most guys can't do that.
Especially in college against the pitching that we're facing in the Sun Belt. I mean, that's really tough to do.
That's great. Yeah. And he's got, I think we pointed out, he's got more walks this season than he had all last year. So, I mean, he's certainly, for a guy as good as he is, to say he's becoming an even better hitter is scary. I mean, again, if he can stay healthy, and be a part of things next year, man, you're gonna have a really special ball player in your hands.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore. This is only his second year here, and he missed a good bit of time last year with those concussions. So,
and missed a good chunk of the start of this year.
Yeah. So I mean,
put him in bubble wrap sometimes, but
we're gonna give him 2 bodyguards and a whole thing of the industrial size bubble wrap for the offseason.
Well, we're gonna get when Jack Slater gets himself with the Secret Service, we're gonna get him to come in and guard F. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's another thing to remember too. Like these guys got other stuff going on. Like they got classes, they're chasing careers. Like they're not just playing baseball. I know as much as the NIL era has kind of ushered in you're basically we're not calling you professional, but you are. It's not quite that way.
This is baseball. You have to go to class. This is not like some of these other sports where we paid him a guy $2 million so he didn't have to go to class. Like this is baseball. These guys they might be getting scholarships, some of them. they got to go to class. So, and our guys generally are really, really good at class. I mean, you'll notice they all have facial hair. They are allowed to have facial hair if the team gets above a 3.0 GPA, which you notice they were clean shaven in the fall. So that the first time in a while. And the guys did not, a lot of our guys do not like that. I mean, personally, I would hate that. I would be, if I was on the team, I would be furious if I had to shave every day and not have a beard. So so it's, and they're going to love that. And everyone loves it this time. Like I said, a few weeks from now, when their classes are over, finals are over, and they can just play some baseball. That's the time when guys really have a lot of fun.
Yeah, they do. I mean, just thinking of Jack Slater, like literally going to Richmond to do a PT test for the Secret Service, coming back, going to practice, and then plays in the game the next day behind the dish. I mean, it's these kids are highly motivated for a generation that is difficult to find their motivators. As I have nieces and nephews that are not too far off in age, they figured out something to get them motivated to get the grades that they need, play well, and keep getting better. But man,
well, I think fortunately it's internal. I think a lot of our guys, I think at this level, you're not going to succeed if you need to be externally motivated. It's the reality. And the guys who probably do are the ones who you kind of see they're like around for a little bit and their playing time goes like this and then they go like this because that's, if you're not, we've said, I've said it last year, I've said it the last couple of years because the team is so deep and we've seen a lot this year where if you don't do well in the opportunities that are given to you, and it doesn't necessarily like having great success, like you're not competing right, you're not going to get any more opportunities because there's so much depth that somebody else is going to take that opportunity. And so, if you're not internally motivated and not doing the things and doing all the right stuff, which includes taking care of your grades and then being able to be eligible. Yeah. I mean, so being like someone like me, who's not very motivated, it would not do well in the situation. It's not good.
Nick's a good example of that too, because he was not the starting center fielder to start this season.
Right.
And some things have moved around. They've had some injuries pop up. He got his opportunity and now he's cemented in there. If for nothing else, his defense and just being scrappy at the plate. Because dude's a competitor. Like he wants to win and he stepped up in a big way for us Saturday. And I was that's one of those plays that you can look back on at the end of the season and say like, all right, where was kind of a turning point where the guys did it? And like, I'll point to that hit. I think we also point to Slater's hit. Because I think if you lose that game in the way that you would have to Richmond, I mean, that could deflate you for the rest of the season. So it was at 119. Your curtain fell.
Was it 119? I was babbling.
It fell dramatically too. I mean, it was everything but whatever that was.
It's like, it's big. It wasn't like a small one this time. Yeah, no, and Nick's great. Yeah, I mean, since like I said, seeing these guys who taking advantage. But I lost track of what I was going to say. No, but you're right. This week, those big moments, and this week in particular. You hope you'll be able to look back and like, okay, this is where it turned around. I mean, we've been waiting on it, and they're doing the thing. We've been believing the people who have stuck with them and understood like, hey, it's a process and it's not always pretty, and sometimes it's not perfect in the beginning, but it's a long season. It's the thing about baseball. Baseball's a long season. These guys play 56 games. You can't, it's like obviously now we're at the point where 3 games matter every weekend, but you can't, be kind of a whiny little wimp about it in the beginning when things aren't going perfect. You got to stick with it and believe in the guys and support them. And for the people who have and have stuck with it, awesome. The people who haven't, I mean, I guess you can come back, but just make sure you're aware of who you are as a person.
Well, we had good crowds out there on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, not as big of a crowd with the game time having to move up to 11 and
don't blame them.
Getting
frankly.
cold and kind of spitting rain for a while. But I think. I love to get the fans to come back out. I mean, I know it may be a little bit cold for that East Carolina game, but we start getting late in the season. That weather's really nice. The ball starts flying out of the ballpark, and it's fun. I mean, it was a party out there. You could clearly hear those fans when Nick ripped one into the gap. You could see everyone just like leaning over the railing trying to see where that ball was going. I mean, and because we got the sweep this weekend and we've avoided sweeps before, we're right back in the thick of it. I mean, we go to Georgia State and take care of business there and come out with a series win. Yeah. We're right back into the top 6 from 14th to 6 in 6 games.
Yeah. Which, that would be, it's extremely plot. And then Arkansas State, I mean, you see what are they, like a game ahead of us? They're nothing amazing. And I mean, obviously Coastal is looming, but people have been beating Coastal here and there. There's no reason again, if you get on a roll and you start playing like you can play, go down and beat Coastal. Let them have some adversity to overcome on their path. Let's be the part of their, like, because I mean, I think we all know they're probably going to go pretty deep at the end of the year. I mean, maybe not all the way back to the finals again, but so let's be part of the story. We're like, well, in May, right before the end of the season, we had to overcome getting our asses handed to us by Old Dominion. Let's be part of that story, right? Yeah.
I mean, Georgia State got them on Sunday 11-5, and that was in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. So, like, if Georgia State can go there and win, we can go there and win a game too. Yeah. But we're gonna focus on East Carolina tomorrow, and then another big series this time on the road at whatever park Georgia State plays at. But they're going to be scrappy. I mean, Georgia. They're 8-10 just like we are. They didn't get there by accident. Like they're a tough team that's gonna, if you give them something, they're gonna take it.
What was that guy's name? Caleb Freeman?
I forgot where he ended up. I don't know if he transferred or if he got drafted, but he was an absolute stud for them last year.
Blue Jays.
Okay.
Let's see. Blue Jays. Yeah. Well, no, that's Texas Tech. This is a different guy.
Yeah. Well, while we're
we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about guys who've gone on to the pros, I got to give a huge shout out to John Hollabetz. He is lighting it on fire for Portland. The Red Sox AA. His last
Eastern League pitcher of the week.
Well, that's what happens when you go 7 innings, allow 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk with 11 strikeouts in AA. He's not going to be in AA for very long, so I don't think I'm going to wait around for the Richmond series at the end of the year to go check him.
Well, we told him that they're playing at AAA. Worcester is playing in Norfolk, I think, in August. But now he might just be in Boston by August. He might not even be coming to see us.
Well, with what's going on with the Red Sox right now, that wouldn't surprise me. But we'll certainly get that info to you as soon as we get it. I know I'm in contact there.
Our guy Caleb Freeman was a 16th round draft pick by the White Sox last year.
Okay.
So he was playing down in Kannapolis, where Tyler's Dallas is from, which is somehow not the South.
The Cannonballers.
Yeah, the Cannonball. Well, I'm old because when I first moved there, they were the Piedmont Boll Weevils.
That's a great name.
The year before Ricky Williams, the football player, had played for them. And so that was interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah, and then like I think a year later they became the Kannapolis Intimidators, named after, because Dale Earnhardt bought the team, but then passed away in February before we ever saw them as the Intimidators. So it was very interesting. Yes, now they're the Cannonballers.
I have a Cannonballer shirt somewhere.
Do you? So he played for Winston-Salem and Kannapolis this year. Anyway, this was well off topic of ODU, but that kid was a beat. Hit 349 last year with a 1236 OPS. I mean, he was a monster.
He was a problem when he came to the plate.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you all tuning in, interacting with us on social media over the weekend.
Letting me be way off track here.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk baseball. Might as well do it now. But no, we appreciate you all. It was great seeing some people out at the ballpark this weekend. Should have all 4 games on ESPN Plus. So tune in, follow along, and we'll be cheering along. Go Monarchs.
Go Monarchs.